Welcome back, Game Time streaming fans. Motor City Entertainment Regional Dart Tournament. Jay Krieger in the booth with Don Spear, the one, the only. And big darts on the board right now, Don.
Yeah, big matchup. These guys have both been throwing fire all day. Brandon was able to win the cork and able to start, but unable to score a ton. And Millar coming in, banging in a 140. So great start there for Jeremiah. This is the Masters final. Millar is sitting king seat, so Brandon's going to have to double dip, and this is going to be a race to three on both sets. So Kessler unable to find the triple with any of those three darts. So door now wide open for Jeremiah, essentially stolen the throw with any big shot here. Another 140 for Millar, so I think that's three in a row, leaving himself on 81. Hasn't missed that 20 wedge yet, and has been really filling that triple up. So Brandon needs anything less than a maximum, just isn't enough here to even pressurize his shot here. So he is going to leave himself an out, so there is an opportunity if Millar's not able to take out this 81.
We're seeing two very different styles of players as far as emotion goes. Jeremiah, a very outwardly emotional person. Brandon, a little bit more reserved. Did see him talking to himself after those first couple of darts there. Then a very different match than we saw the first time as Jeremiah buries that double six to take the first leg. Last time it was winner, or he who throws first wins, and this time Maya stealing the darts with the first leg.
And same opposite story here now. Millar unable to find a triple, only scoring 55, and Brandon starting with a 140. So Brandon just needs to keep his foot on the gas here, and he should be in control.
Seeing a little bit of first dart jitters in the second leg from these guys. Not seeing a ton of triples yet, but I would assume that Maya's going to fill it up here, or put up a big number at least.
Yeah, he needs a big number. He's down by 170 basically right now, so he needs to fill this up just to bring it back to level. Sliding into that triple home with the second dart and with the third, so a little bit of an off leg here for Jeremiah, but with Brandon throwing first, he knows he's going to have the throw on the next leg. He'll just take this time to kind of settle himself and recenter.
I would not hate to see 10 more legs of this match, or 9, I guess, at this point, but I wouldn't hate to see 10 total legs of this match. Big setup shot there. Everything that he could have hoped for from 174, leaving tops, single dart, especially with Maya on 293.
Yeah, big shot. Once again, Maya's just getting settled. He'll try to put a big score in, at least give him a look at it out if Kessler's not able to take it. So, not a ton of pressure, but there is pressure because that 160 is certainly attainable from Millar. So Brandon knows this needs to go away here.
Yeah, this is definitely a heavyweight fight. You're going to see these guys throw punches back and forth and test the waters and push each other and see how far we can go before we take big knockout swings. We're just throwing opening round jabs right now.
Yeah, and with this loser start format, Jeremiah really wasn't rewarded for breaking throwing that first leg, other than the fact that he's just got a leg on the board because Brandon comes right back and starts with the next one. So wasn't really paid off, but coming in now with the throw after losing the second leg and absolutely fills it up. Big 180 from Jeremiah.
And with guys like Jeremiah and Brandon, you expect 180 to follow 180 most of the time, or at least a big ton, 2 triples. Perfect marker darts. I just didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, just a little unfortunate. Hit the wire and deflected down. So really well thrown darts, just not able to drop into the location they needed it. Millar here, door wide open, but sliding into the one here. You can see the little bit of frustration there, but he's been here before. He knows what to do. Good switch, coming down to the 19 for an 80 shot of 80.
Yeah, that go down and cover dart is hard to beat sometimes, especially if you got a hanger above on that 20 and you can switch down to the 19s like that. It's an awesome tool to have in the bag. And we heard from Maya on the stream earlier. He likes to just bring the darts down as much as possible. Didn't look at a setup shot. Wasn't trying to leave himself on an easy number for the easy out. Just hit the 180 and move down with his life, knowing that he's got only 61 left. He can get that in 2.
And coming up short. So kind of the same situation here. Kessler's on a 161. It is a bullseye finish, but it's something that's within reach for him. So not something you're going to see him take out every time, but at least he had a look at it. So Millar going to come back with 3 here at the double 10.
3 at double 10, and Brandon does end up putting a little bit of pressure on the darts there. Maya comes inside on that 10, looking up for the double 5.
Yeah, that was an important second dart. If he misses inside, he's dead. And sliding into the double 20. So Brandon Kessler, door wide open here, only needing 80 to take a 2-1 lead against the throw.
Yeah, Brandon didn't think he was headed back to the line in this leg. Finds a way back, and let's see if he takes advantage of it.
Great marker dart there. And able to hit it.
Again, loser of the last leg does go first. Jeremiah opened with 180 last time. Not going to find that 180 this time. Again, that cover shot on those 19s, that is invaluable. Like it's hard to beat that dart.
Yeah, Millar run into the issues that a lot of players that don't play at his level can run into. Like every dart's a well-thrown dart, but they're just on the wires. And same thing's happened to Kessler right now too, finding 2 single 5s and only a 19. So after what Jeremiah would have determined a pretty lackluster turn, it actually closed the deficit a bit in the second chance here in this leg.
And then Millar does Millar things. Turning a bad trip to the line into a perfect trip to the line. Still doesn't leave himself an out. Couldn't get there from 360, but way to fill it up. Jeremiah does have 6 darts from 180. Brandon can definitely put some pressure on from 232, but I think this is a pretty important setup shot for Jeremiah here.
Not a bad miss. He was going to need a single anyway, and able to fill it back up, leaving himself 40. Kessler on 232. So, and after Kessler taking the last 2 legs and one of them against the throw. Sorry guys, I'll update the score now. He really needed all that. That's for sure.
Just a 60 there from Brandon gives 6 more darts to Maya on that 40. I'd assume that it doesn't take all 6.
But well, you know, this is an important checkout too, because he struggled on a 40 the last game, and it really bit him. So able to clean it up this time. You see the frustration. He really expects to hit that double 20 with his first dart. So we are back to 2-2, guys, and this is the decider for at least the first set. If Millar wins, he's going to take the championship. If Brandon's able to steal this one, we're going to do this all over again and come back for the double dip.
If you're going to miss the bullseye in a cork, that is the best, absolute best place to miss the bullseye. See Jeremiah moving all over the line, trying to find an angle into that bull there. First dart bounce out, throw it again. And I think we have a tie. I think we're going to throw it again. Maya on the cork flights into the 3, gives Brandon a look at anywhere inside the ring to throw first in this last leg decider, and almost hammers the double.
You know, Brandon throws those really small flights, so I'm just going to blame it on that. We're going to say Millar's throwing the shape size flights, and Kessler's throwing, I think, like the super kites, the really tiny ones. So I'll blame it on that for now. But yeah, pretty unfortunate for Millar. His first dart actually hit the back of Brandon's, which if that dart wasn't there, it's in the bullseye. But a little unfortunate, and this is a big leg to have the throw on. So Brandon needs to be counting his blessings and take full advantage here.
I think we've only had one leg of the 4 so far go on throw, which is interesting, especially with these guys.
Yeah, and really out of these first 4 legs, there's been 2 holds and 2 breaks. So the throw really hasn't been a huge advantage for either player. Looks like both players are giving each other opportunities, which is not the situation that they want to be in. But this is where we're at in the final. Sometimes nerves kick in and things happen. So Kessler able to hit 81, which is kind of the bare minimum. You really want to be throwing hundreds here at this level, but Millar's going to be looking to take advantage of that.
And takes advantage on the first dart. I mean, what a great looking first dart. Moves down, yep, makes it even. This is hot. These guys are playing chess, ladies and gentlemen. Even from where he was at, he's already thinking about setup shots for his out. What he can leave himself to get home from 363.
Yeah, once you get out into the 300s, you really need to be paying attention. And the PDC guys are paying attention right after their first 3 darts. They already know kind of the route. I think it made the decision a little easier as well when that single 20 kind of blocked out the triple. And he's already had enough fun with the flexions for this leg considering the diddle. So I think he just moved to get to an open bed.
I was giving him credit for the math. Maybe he was doing both. Maya loves to move around on the line too. If something's covered and hanging, he loves to use the edge of the Aki, left, right. I like to think maybe he was just setting up the math.
Yeah, I know he's a big fan of the 19, so anytime he can justify it, he likes to switch down there. And as you can see, he doesn't miss very many of them. So only down by 82 points here. Any like a 140 shot's going to be absolutely massive if he can find it here.
Sneaks another one into a neighbor. Just not the dart he wanted. BK does have a look at the 140.
Yeah, if he hits the triple, I imagine he'd go double-double, but unable to connect. Gonna throw a single here just to set up the tops. And it's all on Jeremiah here. He should go 20. A single's going to leave 107. A triple will leave 67. So he should probably at least get a bull shot here at minimum.
Yeah, you would assume that a guy at this caliber is going to get a bull shot of the minimum 17s to leave that double bullseye. Does have to find the black bit in the middle and just snatches it a little bit low.
Yeah, so 3 clean here at 40 for Brandon Kessler. We see how important that diddle was. This is really the difference, because if roles were reversed, Maya would be coming up with 3 at 25. So great job from Brandon Kessler there, cleaning it up, throwing a 31, and we're going to do this all over again, folks.
Yeah, game shot for Brandon there. Puts us into level territory. This is best of 3. First 1 to 3. Going to take this title home. Black money, all that goes along with it.
Yeah, Jeremiah not interested in seeing another blocker from Brandon. Goes ahead and throws first. Just misses the double bull, but it's good enough to get the start. So here we go again, guys. We're going to have to reset the board, and we are doing this all over again. Good match here.
I feel, Don, like we're about to see emotional Jeremiah come out and really try to G himself up a little bit, throw some big darts, and see if he can't bring that, like he was talking about earlier, that emotion out that really drives his darts.
Yeah, we saw a little flare up on the bullseye shot for the finish last time, so I think he's kind of locking into that, and this may be what he needed to really get going here. Taking a second here, settling himself before he comes out with his first 3 darts. Able to find the triple with that third, but really that's bare minimum here at this level. So Brandon will be licking his chops here, hoping for a big score.
Yeah. With a 140, I think he almost would have felt like he had stolen the darts away, even though he didn't win the cork. 100 kind of puts him in good territory, but it's not super advantageous.
Yeah, Millar's only down by 15, and with the throw, he won't be sweating that too much. He's going to try to pile it in here.
First dart, it's a great marker, just couldn't follow it on top. Does with the third dart.
Yeah, another 80, and that's not going to be a good sign, but still the same thing with this situation. This is going to be a race to 3, so there's still time, but especially with the throw, you don't want to lose this for if nothing else than a confidence issue. Brandon only able to find 95, but again, right around the 100 mark, so slowly building the lead, but really not enough to really shake anything at this point.
Really interesting that Brandon's smaller flights causing so many deflections for Jeremiah's darts and his own.
Jeremiah again staying right around the 80 number, so 85, 81, 76. So finding 1 triple, but he's wayward left and right here a couple of times, and it may end up costing him here if Brandon's able to find a big score.
Good start, 96. He switched up, looking to leave that 170. Kind of venture into that territory. Do you go for it or do you set it up, depending on what Maya does? And it looks like Maya's going to be down to an out no matter what here.
Yeah, this is exactly what Maya needed. Leaving himself 82, big maximum, or basically a maximum. 177 shot to leave 82. So Brandon, all he can really do here is just apply pressure, try to get himself down to a 1 dart out, and force Maya to hit the 82.
These are the fireworks we were hoping for. 180 followed by a 145 there.
Yeah, so he would have loved to leave 40 there, but he'll take the 65. He knows he's got a 2-darter here. Millar should be going bullseye. Goes trip 14 to leave top. So 68 left, going to have to go trip 18 here. And double 7 for leg 1.
Bang, just outside on the black top for Jeremiah. $14 for 32, double 16 for Brandon to steal this first leg. Break a throw just like we had in the last iteration of this match. But again, with loser start format, it doesn't really matter other than maybe some confidence on Millar's part that he got broken.
I mean, we're kind of devaluing the win. Like, it does matter. You want to win the leg, but it's not as impactful if it was an alternate start because Millar now has the throw. So, Jeremiah, it won't rattle Jeremiah as much. He will have wanted to win it, but he'll be like, okay, let's just hold throw here and get back to where we were and take advantage and do what I got to do.
Yeah, everybody holds throw. We go to a fifth leg no matter who wins the first leg. Once again, a great case of cover shooting from Maya there. Switch down to the 17s. The 20 was kind of covered. Still looking to leave himself good math and a good out. Little fish, even with a ton there on the 230.
Yeah, and if you notice this leg, Maya's really got. He's always got good form, but I can really see it in his follow through, a little more firm, a little more direct. He hasn't missed anything left or right, so it's at least been in the segment and true to form there, right dead in the top of the triple. He probably would have liked to have it near the bottom of the triple, but he won't be complaining too much. Able to hit a ton, leaving 130 after what, 9? So good shot there from Jeremiah.
Yeah, 130 after 9 on the 12 darter. Little fish. He only has to hit one bullseye on the 130. If he hits two triple 20s, he leaves himself to double 5. So it's a great setup darts. Again, if you're watching and you're concerned about your math, these guys are playing the math down from 300.
Yeah, so like you said, one triple required, but you just got to stay in your segment. Can't miss left or right, and he does exactly that with the first dart. So shot's now gone. Should go trip 20 here. Oh, okay, so he went 76 to leave 32, I think. 89 left. Kessler not on and out, so Jeremiah knows he's going to be back here.
Brandon with just 50 there. Leaves 135. Not the out he was hoping to leave. Bottom of the board, shot for Maya, 70. Going to go 20s. Leaves the bullseye. Just snatched it a little bit again. Found the outer ring. 25 does leave Brandon a look at 135. Not a great outshot.
No, I imagine he's probably going to go bullseye here first. Unable to connect, though. All right, so Jeremiah did throw out a couple double 12s earlier, so it'll be interesting to see if he goes 988 or 1 double 12. I would think 988, though. Yeah. So 2 here at the double 8 for the second leg. And connects with the first one. So right back on throw. Now Kessler will have the start in the next one.
Big ton open from Brandon there. And in true Jeremiah fashion, triple follows triple. The only thing that I'm surprised about that turn, Lucas, was that Jeremiah didn't fill it up.
Absolutely. He's been in another world with his consistency today, and BK is just killing it. Cannot beat what's going on with these darts. Just great darts.
I know that it's almost Memorial Day, but it feels like the 4th of July when these guys are throwing like this.
And just like that, there's the consistency that I was just talking about, Jake. You know, it's consistent tons, ton 40 and ton 80. It's just Masters at its finest.
Yeah, I think if we were watching a steel tip match right now, we'd be sick of the announcer calling 140s. But here we are and just cannot find it. Leaves the door wide open for Millar to break here.
Leaves the door wide open, but just a 40 40-point difference for lead, but Kessler's going to make that hurt right now.
Yeah, the setup's gonna be big here. 57 leaves 24, big darts. That is the absolute perfect setup shot. They're gonna put the absolute pressure on Jeremiah to take out 161. Very capable. If anybody in the room is capable, it's him. First dart magic, gonna require the bullseye. He's had 2 shots at it in this match. Just cannot find it for the 161 out. Double 12 required for Brandon to be up 2-1.
So D12 for the win. Oh, just a bit outside. Hits it 2-1 Kessler. Is it 2-1?
Yeah.
Come on, Nate. Gotta get better.
I was doing it for Don when he was sitting over here. Now you're doing it for me when I'm sitting over here.
Door, welcome.
Millar here with darts in hand, 70-point lead. And just, he's been consistent all day, Jake, and he just keeps filling it up. And, ooh, that was almost another ton, but 62 left. Kessler's, got some time, but he's got to start filling up because Millar's firepower for scoring is almost a little too strong for Kessler at this point.
We've seen both of these guys a little bit today on this board, just sneaking into the neighbors. The 111, 555, a little low wire on the 20s has been pretty abundant on this board. But these guys cover shoot so well. I'm not surprised to see Maya move down there and then just goes back up and finds one.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah,
Just a flick of the wrist.
just through the blocker anyhow. Looks like Brandon might be thinking about leg number 5 here, especially with the way that Maya's filling up the 20 bed on this. And then once again follows pattern. He just sneaks one over into that 555 bed, then right back into the 20s.
Looks like we're heading right back to Game 5 of a double dip finals match. You hear those fireworks in the background? Pew, pew, pew.
What is better than 10 legs of these two guys just hammering each other back and forth?
It doesn't get any better, I can tell you that for a fact. Watching two great darters in person, it's a tough Friday, tell you what. Trip 15, double 10, send us to Game 5. Double 5. Splits it and going has 6. So Kessler needs to hit the Quattro board here for a 280 out, but we don't have Quattro board, so he'll just settle the, inch this down and get ready for Game 5.
Interestingly, though, I think, and I'm going to say this quietly because Jeremiah could hear us earlier, I think he missed the big number. I think he got a little snatchy on dart 3, hit the double 2 to leave 6. I don't think anybody leaves double 3 on purpose, but in true Millar fashion, walks up, hammers it in, going to Game 5. I think that Brandon, after the last diddle, is going to show one to Jeremiah just so that maybe he can get another deflection.
And we had a little bit of a side conversation there on after the diddle. So Brandon the start, and this is Game 5, Masters Championship Final. Can't find a better way to spend your Friday afternoon if you're at work, or if you're here, or if you're just somewhere else and doing your business. This doesn't get any better. So here we go, Jake.
Smart idea by Brandon there to take that one off the nut right there, off the get-go. Does find 81. Like Don was saying earlier, it is kind of the bare minimum with this level of player. You want to find at least one triple, but he was hoping for a lot more.
Absolutely. Definitely at this level, you want at least one trip 20, but, 55-point difference here to everybody else. That's like a 200-point hole. So Kessler back up. He's licking his chops to start doing a ton 80, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 55s with these guys can turn into 235 in an absolute hurry. Doesn't punish it like he would like. Another 83, which does leave the door open for Maya to get right back in this leg.
And going to work right here. Fill it up one more time. Ooh, that was almost a 1-2-3 ringing up, but a nice 135 makes this a more interesting match. So here we go. Going to get down into setups and proper math and who's going to blink first, really, Jake.
Yeah, I would assume that. Well, after that first start, I think BK might switch, and I see him looking down now. 19s covers perfectly. 97 points scored, 240. Only needs 70 points now to leave himself an out. He's going to be looking for a much better setup shot than that. Maya needed a 180 to leave himself an out. Couldn't quite get there with the first start.
Filling it up with the trip 20. So again, we're right back into a gunslingers duo here. 5-point difference. Brandon for the setup here. I don't think he'll get down mid hundreds, hopefully, but he's got to set himself up for an out because Maya is looking to do the same thing.
What a smart switch there too. Bullseye, one of the bigger targets on the board, especially when you get 25 points on it and leave yourself on an even number. Single 20, if he had missed outside, would not have left himself an out, and it would have been what we call a bogey number. Jeremiah with a much better out, but Brandon does have a look at that 150. And more capable guys in the room there are not than these two that are standing on the board to take out that 150.
Absolutely on Jake, and he just wires out the trip. Decision time here. Hits the trip forward to leave 58, which isn't that bad, but Maya has the sights. Can't go for the championship right here. First leg of it is done. Single 15.
13 for 32, double 16. Hang in.
Nails it. And Maya, your Masters champion, Jake. What do you think?
Yeah, it came down to exactly what we said earlier, Lucas. It is score for show and out for dough, and that's the dough for Millar right there. You can see the emotions. He said he doesn't want to be emotional on the camera, but you can see the emotion there. He's a very emotional guy, and he plays like it, plays with a lot of emotion. I am like that sometimes. Maybe not the lows that we're seeing, kind of the adrenaline dump that we're seeing from Jeremiah right here, but I like to be emotional on the high end too.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't understand how much work and sacrifice, frustration, anger, you pick any of those choice words, goes into not only darts, but, darts' ugly cousin golf. It can play nasty tricks on you and make you think you don't have it. And when you think you do have it, you really don't. And then when you don't have it, you do. So just seeing the outpouring of emotion from Maya shows that, the rest of us that are on, the dart hall are just like, okay, so if he's showing emotion, then I know, I'm on the right path. But great match. Couldn't ask for a better Masters final.
Once again,
don't forget to tip your
Once again, thank you for watching Game Time Streaming fans. We enjoyed it. We will be back tonight with, I believe, doubles cricket, Lucas?
We will be here for doubles cricket.